How do artists get on the Billboard charts? I asked you guys this question 2 years ago in a video, and you've since made it my most popular video on this channel. But with Billboard recently announcing that it's now going to be factoring YouTube views into its consideration for chart positions, let's dive in today and find out how you can use that information to try and bring that dream to life, as well as answer a few other questions as well. Let's blast off and get started. JM in your universe. Konnichiwa friends, I'm Jonathan Miller and welcome back to Jonathan Miller Music, helping you become a better indie artist. I make futuristic and outer space inspired dance pop music, and every Wednesday on this channel I'm helping others take their music to level 2. If that sounds good, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. If not, wow, okay. I'll remember that next time I do a research project for a YouTube video, like I do every week on this channel, because I'm Hermione Granger and I have a problem. Think about that. Alright, so like the title says, this is part 2 of how to get on the Billboard charts. I'm gonna break this video up into a few sections, the first part being a really quick recap of part 1, which I really recommend you check out if you haven't, because there's a lot of information in that video that will help make this video make sense. The second section of this video is dedicated to how YouTube views factor in to chart position consideration and what that means for the music industry going forward, and what it means for you and I as independent artists. Finally, the last section of this video is dedicated to answering as many questions as you can that you asked in part 1 in the comment section, or you DM'd me on Instagram, and just providing some clarification on specific information that you guys need to know. So with that out of the way, let's recap real quick the exact formula on how to get on the Billboard charts. First, you're going to need to obtain International Sound Recording Codes, or ISRCs, for your songs and a Universal Product Code, a UPC, for your album. Secondly, you'll need to register those ISRCs and UPC with Nielsen SoundScan. Registration is free at the time of this recording, and a link to do so is in the description below, because Nielsen is responsible for tracking your song and your album's performance. The next step is to set up a pre-order at least 6 to 8 weeks ahead of your album's release date, because any sale made during that time count toward your first week's sales total. Step 4 is promoting your album on all of your social media, or your email list, etc., as much as you can, especially on Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Vivo. But we'll talk more about YouTube in just a minute. Then the final goal you need to have is to sell at least 450 to 500 albums in your first week, including any of those sales made during your pre-order period. All right, I know that was kind of fast, and like I said, if you haven't seen part 1 for more information on that, make sure you check out the link in the description below. Now, this is where things get interesting. At the end of 2019, Billboard announced that it would also be factoring in YouTube views and streams for chart consideration as well. Deanna Brown, the president of Billboard and Hollywood Reporter Media Group, said that YouTube is an important part of music consumption, and it's time to recognize that. Now, YouTube streams have already been included in singles rankings since 2013, but now they're counting towards album charts as well, like the Billboard Top 200 Albums chart. Billboard has slowly been moving away from strictly sales tracking to more of an overall music consumption tracking system, as things have changed drastically in the modern digital age. So as of January 3rd, 2020, Billboard has started to include officially licensed video views from Vivo, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, and Tidal. One album sale is the equivalent of 1,250 clicks or streams from a paying user on the given platform, and 3,750 clicks or streams from an individual non-paying user. So to clarify, just because your video has 1,250 views doesn't mean it counts as an album sale. It's all about where those views come from. Only when someone who subscribes to YouTube Music and then that person streams your song 1,250 times will it officially count. And that's a very important distinction, because if they don't subscribe to YouTube Music, they have to watch your video at least 3,750 times, which, if you've got a fan willing to do that, you know, snaps for you. Furthermore, you cannot use paid advertising to buy your way to #1 either. This was the most common question I got on part 1. You can't even do that for YouTube Music's own music chart either. So it's got to be either an official music video, an official lyric video, or an audio video using the official version of your song. Remember to attach that ISRC in your video's description. So what does that all mean? Well, if you haven't already, you're gonna see more artists uploading multiple official videos of their song. Lyric videos for indie artists are now more important than ever before. Official music videos are just as important as ever. You're going to see official audio videos of songs or entire albums uploaded to YouTube to try and help chart positions for even non-singles from an album. And remember, this all factors under promotion too. However, you can get a little excessive. Take Justin Bieber and his song Yummy. It had a cassette, a 7-inch picture disc, 6 unique CDs, 5 unique 7-inch vinyl discs, 5 additional music videos, lyric videos, and the official audio video. Now, no shade to Justin, but his song only got to number 2 on the Billboard charts. And it was heavily criticized for trying to game the system. So artists like you and I are gonna have to be really careful, but if you've got the budget for an official audio video, a lyric video, and an official music video, by all means, go for it, because all of those views add up. However, I do have to point out that a downside to this is that if another song goes viral while you're trying to release yours, this could potentially affect your chart position as well. So timing is still everything, but there are some things that are out of your control. And I don't want you to feel discouraged either, because all of this is still great information and greatly improves the chances of independent artists like us showing up on the Billboard charts. Just because the game's changed doesn't mean you stop playing. Getting on Billboard is a huge accomplishment, whatever position you debut at. Plus, all those other steps in part 1 still apply. So if your fans are still streaming your music, this can only help you. The only difference now is that if you weren't uploading your music to YouTube before, you're gonna wanna get on that. Okay, so now I wanna answer some of your questions that you asked me on part 1 or you reached out to me on social media for. I selected a couple of comments because I think they're the most important for everyone to understand and it can help you with your strategy on releasing your next song. I do wanna say real quick that if you do have further questions, you can always ask me in the comments. I'm always trying to answer as many people as I possibly can. I'm not perfect, but I will do my best. Question 1, do already released singles, part of the album, count toward your first week's sales? Yes! So if your single is released ahead of your album separately, but it's got the same ISRC as the song that appears on your album, to my knowledge, it should still count. However, just to be safe, I would recommend that you leave it as part of the pre-order for your whole album, just to be safe, and keep it as an immediate download for purchasing the whole album, because instant gratification tracks for fans are always great. Question 2. Do SoundCloud streams count toward album sales? Unfortunately, no, not right now. SoundCloud streams are not part of Billboard's chart consideration. But if your song does well and it starts to get some viral action and your fans are talking about it on Twitter with a hashtag, it could potentially help you with the social interaction part. Question 3. Should we copyright our song before or after my release? And will that affect my release if I copyright the song before the release? Okay, so music copywriting deserves its own video because it's a little bit complicated and I am by no means a lawyer. However, I will say that when your song is actually created, there is a small level of copyright that is created. However, make sure you join a performance rights organization like ASCAP, BMI to make sure that you're getting your writing and publishing royalties, and make sure you check with your own individual country's laws because everyone's a little bit different on how to properly copyright music. Generally speaking, I wouldn't worry too much about it. It won't affect your release because when your song is released publicly, there is another layer of copyright that's kind of created. But if you are super worried about it, always consult a lawyer. Question 4. I couldn't find an answer to this, but does Billboard count per sale or per unit sold? So to my knowledge, it counts per unit sold. However, for streams, remember on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, the metric is the same. 1,250 streams from a paying user, 3,750 streams from a non-paying user, or group of non-paying users that total 3,750. You can do a little math with that, but that is the new industry metric for all streaming platforms. Question 5. Does signing up for Nielsen SoundScan make me eligible for all the charts that my music may apply to, or only for certain charts? That is a great question, Morgan. So when you register with Nielsen, you're going to have to fill out a little bit of information about your song, including its genre, which will tell Nielsen the information that they need to determine which charts your music is eligible for. Now, a little bit of miscellaneous information. Even with all the new metrics, sales still count more than streams. Think of this charting system as more like a point system, whereas sales count for more points than a stream does. The next thing is you cannot buy more than 4 copies of a song on the same credit card. So no, you can't buy your song 10 times and then give it to your friends. They are very careful at reviewing this. So again, you cannot game the system and buy your way to number 1. They have ways of reviewing this really carefully, so just be aware of that. And the other thing that a lot of people were confused about, only domestic streams count for domestic charts. Remember that Billboard is a US-based company. So if you are in the UK and people are streaming your song in the UK, the charts you're going to be looking for are more global. So like the world albums charts, world singles charts, those are the ones you're gonna be looking for. Now, if people in the US are streaming your song a bajillion times, then yes, you can get on the Hot 100. That's where a lot of people get confused, but I hope that that kind of clears that up. If you need further clarification, don't hesitate to ask me in the comments below. Getting on Billboard, regardless of whatever chart it is an amazing accomplishment. Whatever number you debut at is huge. That's an amazing feat. For me, it's been amazing seeing your guys' passion for this dream that we all collectively share. So best of luck, and be sure to let me know in the comments where you made your Billboard chart debut. So that is how to get on the Billboard charts part 2. Question of the video, when is your next release and are you gonna try for Billboard? Leave me a comment below letting me know. If you wanna check out part 1 or check out my latest single, Not Afraid of My Heart, there are links in the description below so you can also check them out as well. And if you like me and you like what I do, consider joining me on Patreon or following me on Spotify. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new. I put out new videos every single Wednesday. Once again, I'm Jonathan Miller, and I will see you next time. See you later.
I am a machine.